one hand. Again, he's complaining, got to get back on defense. It's 5-on-4.
That was the Lakers' own broadcast team, on air, fed up. Jeannie Buss went on record and said something about Luka Doncic that no NBA owner has ever said about a player they just traded for. She revealed exactly how he reacted when he found out about the trade and what she's seen from him since. But the real question is whether his behavior on the court is about to force her hand. Let's get into it. The deal nobody saw coming. On February 2nd, 2025, the Los Angeles Lakers traded Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a 2029 first-round draft pick to the Dallas Mavericks for Luka Doncic. The Mavericks were 26-23 and sitting 8th in the Western Conference. Mavericks GM Nico Harrison said he only discussed the trade with the Lakers and did not shop Doncic to other teams. Harrison also confirmed that Doncic never expressed a desire to leave Dallas or reluctance to sign a contract extension, but the deal happened anyway. Harrison told reporters, "We definitely understand the magnitude of what just transpired. It's definitely not lost on us," and joked he wouldn't be GM long if the deal failed. Now, here is where it gets interesting. Jeannie Buss, the governor and owner of the Lakers, played this whole thing like a poker game, and those are her words, not mine. Buss revealed in interviews that she kept the trade under such tight wraps that even Lakers head coach J.J. Redick and key players like LeBron James were not informed until the deal was finalized. Think about that for a second. LeBron James, the guy who has had his hand in every roster decision for the last decade, wherever he goes, did not know. J.J. Redick, the head coach, did not know. Nobody knew. Buss drew from lessons her father, Jerry Buss, taught her about waiting for the right opportunity and going all in when it arose. She said the Lakers weren't actively looking to move Davis or Christie, but couldn't pass on acquiring a talent like Doncic. And then she took a shot at Anthony Davis that everybody tried to pretend they didn't hear. Buss noted that Davis had been complaining about where he was being played and he wasn't happy, suggesting this trade was good for everybody. She praised the discretion from both sides, saying, "I'm really proud that it didn't leak out, so the trade goes through." The basketball world is in shock. Luka Doncic is a Laker, and everyone's expecting him to be thrilled, right? You just got traded to the purple and gold. Showtime. Hollywood, the franchise of Magic, Kareem, Shaq, Kobe. You're supposed to walk in like you own the place. That's not what happened. In August 2025, Jeannie Buss sat down for an interview on Slovenian radio, and what she said stopped people in their tracks. Buss revealed, "Nobody knew the trade was going to happen. I knew, and he didn't know. I've never had a player come to the Lakers and be as sad as he was. He had to process what happened. Let that sink in." The owner of the Lakers, a woman who has watched players walk through those doors for decades, said she has never seen a player arrive that sad. Not a little disappointed, not caught off guard, sad. The kind of sad where you have to process it like grief. Media analysts picked up on this immediately. Nick Wright speculated that the trade shook Doncic's confidence for the first time in his career, leading to a period of adjustment. And if you think about who Luka Doncic is, that makes sense. This is a guy who was the man in Dallas from the second he was drafted. He could do no wrong. He was their franchise player, their golden boy, the guy they built everything around. And overnight, without warning, without his input, he was shipped out.
Luka's the man in Dallas for all of these years. He could do no wrong.
That's exactly the point. In Dallas, there was unconditional love. No matter how many games they lost, no matter how far they fell short of a championship, Luka was their guy. He spent his entire career there. They drafted him. He grew up in that organization. The fans would have been fine if he played 15 years and never won a ring, the same way they were fine with Dirk Nowitzki for 14 years before that title came in 2011.
In Dallas, no matter what, you are the guy. We love you no matter what.
But the Lakers don't work like that. Buss knows it, the fans know it, and Luka is learning it.
If Luka spends the rest of his career in LA and they don't win, he's not going to be a beloved Laker.
That is the reality of playing for the Los Angeles Lakers. You can be the most talented player on the roster. You can put up numbers every night. But if there is no banner going up in the rafters, the love runs out. Ask Dwight Howard. Ask Steve Nash. Ask anybody who came to LA with expectations and left without a ring. The Lakers are a results-based franchise, and Buss made that clear when she said in a February 2026 interview, "I think Laker fans have a lot to look forward to. We're about winning and wanting to add more trophies. Every future move," she said, "would prioritize Doncic's success. He is the new face of the franchise." She called him an illusionist on the court because of his passing and playing style, and she said he's a must-see attraction for fans. Now, Buss also observed that something shifted in Doncic over the summer of 2025. When he played for Slovenia in Eurobasket, she noticed he seemed different and more settled in Los Angeles, fully embracing his role with the Lakers. The Lakers even sent a coach to assist Slovenia's national team, which shows how invested the organization was in making this work. She pointed to Doncic's growing connection to the franchise's history, particularly his admiration for Kobe Bryant, whom he met as a teenager, and Gigi Bryant. And Doncic showed off-court engagement too, like donating to restore a vandalized Kobe Bryant mural in May 2025, which Buss publicly acknowledged. So from Buss's side, the message has been all positive. She denied that LeBron James was unhappy with the acquisition. She highlighted Doncic's all-star fan vote lead and global appeal. She painted a picture of a franchise that is all in on this man. But here's the thing. While Buss is talking about trophies and illusionists and bright futures, there is a whole other side to this story. Because what Luka Doncic has been doing on the basketball court since he put on that Lakers jersey has been driving people crazy. And it is not his scoring. It is not his passing. It is something he has been doing his entire career, something that followed him from Dallas to Los Angeles, like a shadow he cannot shake. And that brings us to the behavior, the flaw that followed him. Luka Doncic has a problem, and it is not a new problem. It is not something that started when he got to Los Angeles. This thing has been brewing since his rookie year in Dallas, and it has gotten worse every single season. The problem is his constant complaining to referees, and the numbers back it up. By June 2024, Doncic had racked up 78 regular season technical fouls and 9 playoff technical fouls, with a significant portion tied directly to arguing with officials. And in the 2025-26 season with the Lakers, he is on pace for a career high in technical fouls, currently around 13 with months left in the season, ranking near the league lead. Let's walk through the history, because this didn't come out of nowhere. February 12, 2020, Doncic is in his second NBA season. The Mavericks are playing the Sacramento Kings. Doncic drives to the basket, feels contact, no whistle. He goes at referee Mousadagher and gets a technical foul. But the moment that made this memorable was Kings head coach Luke Walton, who was standing nearby and sarcastically told Doncic to give the ref his autograph, implying the officials were giving the young star special treatment. Walton got a technical of his own for that comment. Fans on social media were split. Some said, Luka getting special treatment already? Refs love him, while others defended him. Doncic finished that game with 33 points, 12 rebounds, and 8 assists in a 130-111 win. But the pattern was already forming. Fast forward to August 30th, 2020, the NBA bubble. Playoffs. Game 6 of the Western Conference first round against the Clippers. Doncic threw the ball toward referee Mark Davis after a disputed call in the third quarter, earning a technical foul. The game was already heated. Marcus Morris Sr. had been ejected for a flagrant 2 foul on Doncic earlier in the game. Coach Rick Carlisle got ejected too. 6 technicals total were issued in that game alone. Doncic was later fined $15,000 by the NBA for the ball throwing incident. The Mavericks lost 111-97 and their season was over. Doncic had 38 points, 9 rebounds, and 9 assists, but was criticized for defensive lapses while arguing calls. His first playoff technical. His first playoff exit where the refs got more of his attention than the other team. May 2021. This one was a spectacle. Against the Kings again, Doncic picked up 2 technical fouls in rapid succession. The first came after an offensive foul call where he yelled, "Hell no," and shook his fist at referee Rodney Mott. The second came moments later when he threw the ball the length of the court in frustration, ejected. That brought his season total to 15 technicals, 1 shy of a suspension. 1 more and he would have had to sit out a game. Rick Carlisle got a technical in the same sequence. The Mavericks lost 111-99. Doncic had 30 points before getting tossed. The league reviewed both technicals and upheld them. The referee told pool reporters the first was for a disrespectful response, and the second for throwing the ball in an overt manner. Fans were worried, not about the loss, about whether their franchise player could keep his mouth shut long enough to stay on the court. March 22nd, 2023, Golden State Warriors, Chase Center, Doncic drives, no call, and this time, he does something nobody expected. He made a money sign gesture toward referee Kevin Scott, rubbing his fingers together, implying officiating bias or gambling influence, technical foul, and a $35,000 fine from the NBA, the largest of his career at the time. The Mavericks lost 127-125. Doncic had 30 points. Some fans called it brave, others called it dumb, but everyone agreed on one thing: this man cannot leave the referees alone. And then came the biggest stage of all, June 12, 2024, NBA Finals, Game 3, Boston Celtics. The Mavericks were down 0-2 in the series and fighting for their lives. Doncic fouled out with 4 minutes and 12 seconds left in the fourth quarter. 6 fouls, 4 of them in the final period. Many came from defensive reaches and poor positioning. After the game, Doncic said, "We couldn't play physical. 6 fouls in the NBA Finals. Come on, man, be better than that." The Mavericks lost 106-99 and fell to 0-3. No team has ever come back from 3-0 in the finals. The season was essentially over. The reactions poured in. One fan sarcastically wrote, "Luka is complaining about fouls. This is so out of character." Another said, "He was throwing and tackling people. Learn to play defense." A more measured take noted, "They literally let a lot go. Don't go for a charge when you're not set." And of course, there were Mavericks fans who said he was absolutely robbed, but the damage was done. In the biggest games of his career, the story was not about his talent, it was about his mouth. That was the Doncic who left Dallas, a supremely gifted player with 2 career-long flaws that everyone could see: conditioning and complaining. And when the Lakers acquired him, there was a hope, maybe even a belief, that the bright lights of Los Angeles and the pressure of the purple and gold would clean that up. It did not. The breaking point. Since arriving in Los Angeles, Doncic's referee complaints have not just continued. They've reached heights that media members describe as a return to, or even exceeding, peak Dallas levels. And the spotlight in LA is 100 times brighter than it ever was in Texas. April 8th, 2025, one of the first major incidents in a Lakers uniform. A road game against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Doncic received his first technical for directing profanity at referee JT Orr in the third quarter. Then in the fourth quarter, with the Lakers leading 108-107 and 7 minutes and 40 seconds left, Doncic exchanged words with a courtside fan named Jeremy Price after a made basket. But referee Orr thought the words were directed at him. Second technical, ejection. The Lakers were leading by 1 point. Without Doncic, they collapsed and lost 136-120. The NBA rescinded the second technical the next day, admitting the error. The fan, Jeremy Price, confirmed it was mutual banter, but the damage was already done. One fan summed it up perfectly: "The loss doesn't get rescinded, though." Others were more direct: "Garbage refs, and hold the referee accountable and fine him." Someone even joked, "Now bring the teams back and reset the clock." Funny? Sure, but the Lakers took an L they should not have taken, and Doncic's first technical in that game was still on him. December 10th, 2025. Another game against the Thunder. Doncic drove to the basket and got elbowed in the eye by Kelly Olynyk. Commentator Stan Van Gundy, watching in real time, said it definitely should have been a foul and potentially a flagrant. No call was made. And what did Doncic do? He argued. He got a technical foul for it, his 5th of the season. The Lakers lost. Now, was Doncic right to be upset? Absolutely. He got elbowed in the eye. Even the commentator agreed it was a missed call. But the pattern is the pattern. When you complain on every single play, the referees stop giving you the benefit of the doubt. One fan pointed it out with surgical precision. Luka whines after every play. His incessant whining lost him credibility. Another was more sarcastic. "I'm surprised Luka complained about a call. That is the boy who cried wolf. Except the wolf is real sometimes, and nobody believes him anymore." January 15th, 2026 brought another ugly scene. During a 135-117 loss to the Charlotte Hornets, Doncic complained about a no call, trotted back slowly, allowed a wide open 3, and got a technical. After the game, Lakers guard Marcus Smart called out "talking too much" in his post-game comments. When your own teammate is going to the microphone to tell the media you need to stop talking, that is a problem that has moved past the media and the fans and into the locker room. Then came February 25th, 2026, the revenge game. Doncic returned to Dallas as a Laker, the game everyone circled on the calendar. And 3 minutes into the first quarter, Doncic received a technical foul for arguing a missed foul call on a drive. 3 minutes. The game had barely started. That was his 13th technical of the season, putting him on pace for a career high. In his revenge game, in the building where he used to be untouchable. And then the media firestorm hit in full force. ESPN's Zach Lowe went on his podcast and delivered what can only be described as a rant. He called Doncic's behavior unwatchable and completely out of control. He said, "It's every play. Just play, man. Not everything is a foul. Are you playing to draw a foul or playing basketball? Are you playing one-on-one with the refs? It's every single possession now. It's back to Dallas levels. It's unwatchable. Lowe pointed out that despite Doncic leading the league in scoring at around 32.5 points per game and free throw attempts at 10.7 per game, the constant arguing disrupts flow, hurts transition defense, and overshadows everything he does well. He urged Doncic to focus on controllable elements rather than trying to work the officials on every single possession. ESPN's Tim McMahon was equally blunt. On Get Up, he described the complaining as one of Doncic's two glaring flaws alongside conditioning. He said he's crying as much as he ever has. Luka vents his frustration at the referees. So the more he's frustrated, the more he's whining. He's crying. Bomani Jones went the furthest, saying the Luka Doncic experience hasn't been great for the Lakers and that he comports himself like a loser. Former NBA player Jeff Teague said Doncic makes the Lakers boring because you be like, damn bro, you cry the whole game. Chandler Parsons called him a foul baiter. Max Kellerman piled on. The voices got louder and louder, and then the Lakers' own broadcast team made it impossible to ignore.
One hand, again, he's complaining, gotta get back on defense. It's 5-on-4.
That is your own team's announcers on the air calling you out, not the opposing team's guys clowning you, not some podcast host looking for clicks. The people whose job it is to make you look good on camera, sounding like they've had enough.
Underneath, they're gonna put it up and in, and one. And the foul.
And right on cue, while Doncic was arguing, the other team scored. 5-on-4, free bucket, and one. That is the cost of standing at half court, yelling at a referee who has already made the call and moved on.
Happening again.
This is
5-on-4.
This is me talking to my kids.
That comparison was not made lightly. When an analyst says watching a grown man play basketball reminds them of scolding their children, that is not just criticism, that is exasperation. On social media, the fan reactions match the energy. On Reddit, a thread about Lowe's rant garnered 500 plus upvotes on R Lakers, with comments like, Luka is a great talent, but he does complain way too much, leads to 5-on-4 on the other end. On X, one fan wrote, Lakers were a tough watch. Now with Luka can't stand the Lakers with all complaining. Another said, now Luka isn't playing for a team nobody pays attention to. Everyone is noticing just how slow and lazy he is. Mavericks fans chimed in with what can only be described as a collective, we told you so, with articles titled, Lakers finally learning harsh Luka truth Mavericks always knew. And some fan comments cut deeper than any analyst ever could. One wrote, the trade messed him up. He's mentally weak. Jason Timpf called it infuriating and embarrassing, demanding a wake-up call. The consensus was forming. Something had to change. The bigger picture. Now, if you think this story is just about a guy who argues with referees, you're missing the bigger problem, because the complaining is a symptom. The disease runs deeper than that, and it touches everything about how this Lakers team is built and how Luka Doncic fits inside of it. Let's start with defense, or rather, the complete absence of it. Fans on social media have taken to calling Doncic a defensive virus and a liability. His defensive rating is among the worst for high-usage players, and opponents target him on switches the way a lion targets the slowest gazelle in the herd. Sam Mitchell on SiriusXM called Doncic the Lakers' biggest problem, saying he doesn't play defense and holds his teammates to a different standard than he holds himself. A post on Reddit's r/NBA Talk with over 200 upvotes called him the opposite of a defensive anchor and said, the LA Lakers made the mistake of a lifetime trading for Luka. Even a former Mavericks fan who followed Doncic to LA admitted on R Lakers, when he doesn't want to play defense or is tired, he is bad at it. That's someone who loves the player telling you the truth about the player. The February 24th, 2026 loss to the Orlando Magic was the perfect example of everything going wrong at once. Wild finish, back and forth, and on the final possession, the Lakers get the ball to Doncic.
Well, by the way, when he caught the pass, I mean, he was a good 8 feet behind the three-point line, but wide open.
Wide open. A shot he takes every single night, but he didn't shoot it. He took one dribble, and then he picked up his dribble.
He passes it to LeBron, but LeBron's got his back to the basket from the three-point line, so he's got to take this fadeaway three.
And that is where the possession died. LeBron got the ball with his back to the basket. No rhythm, 2 seconds left, and had to throw up a fadeaway three. Of course it missed. After the game, Doncic explained what happened. He said, I know it was open, but I just thought it was a little bit far. So I did one dribble closer. Probably should have picked up the ball. Probably should have. Yeah. LeBron, for his part, was diplomatic. He said, I thought he had a good look, and it looked like he kind of just lost his balance. That's LeBron speak for he messed up, and I'm not going to throw him under the bus on camera. But that final play failure pointed to deeper issues. Doncic's ball-dominant style has been called stifling, Sam Mitchell said, Luka Doncic can't play basketball without the ball. At some point, NBA players are going to get tired of standing in the corner. His drives per game have been declining every year since 2021, now at a career low 14%, replaced by step-back jumpers from 28+ feet that look great when they go in and kill the offense when they don't. On Our Lakers, a post titled An Honest Opinion About Luka called him pretty atrocious off ball. He doesn't cut, he doesn't move, he doesn't set screens. When the ball is not in his hands, he is standing still. And then there is the fit with LeBron, or rather, the lack of fit. The pairing of two ball-dominant playmakers who don't play defense has been questioned since the day the trade happened.
What do they all do? Oh, they're really good at playmaking and shot making.
And none of the three play defense.
That's the math. Doncic, LeBron, and Austin Reeves. Three guys who can put the ball in the basket and create for others, and not one of them holding it down on the other end. Nick Wright said on First Things First that the Lakers are drawing dead in the playoffs because of Doncic's defensive issues, squandering his prime. Kelvin Washington on The Odd Couple said of the LeBron-Doncic pairing, "This needs to end. Multiple reasons why this just isn't going to work." The stats paint the picture even clearer. Doncic leads the NBA in turnovers per game at 4.1. The Lakers have a poor offensive rating of 117.8 points per 100 possessions when he's on the floor, tied for last among high-usage players. They are 34-23 as of late February 2026, 2-4 in their last 6 games, including losses to the Celtics and the Magic. And when this team loses, they don't just lose close.
The team with the biggest margin of loss is the Washington Wizards. We would expect that, one of the worst teams.
That's expected. The Wizards are one of the worst teams in the league, but guess who is number 2?
Number 2, the Lakers, which is unheard of for a team.
The Lakers, second in the entire NBA in margin of defeat when they lose, right behind a team that is trying to be bad, and the reasons are structural.
And like the Lakers are neither. They got like some smart, good shooting players with high IQ. They've got some
smart, sure. Good shooters, some of them. But they lack the overall athleticism to recover from mistakes and the shooting depth to make up for defensive breakdowns. When the game starts slipping, it avalanches. The blowouts are not accidents. They are the natural result of a roster that cannot defend, cannot run, and cannot shoot well enough to cover those gaps.
So when they lose, they get killed.
They get killed.
On X, one fan captured the sentiment. Too many lazy games. Step back jumper after step back. Another wrote, the Lakers are running an inefficient offense. Give him the ball. Let him cook. And the post on Our Lakers titled, It's okay for us Laker fans to admit Luka hasn't been as great, called him a max min build with glaring weaknesses. But not everyone has turned on Doncic. Candace Parker defended him, saying he is overlooked for MVP the same way Kobe was due to boredom with greatness. Some fans on our NBA have pushed back on the criticism, calling it jealousy and pointing to his numbers. Around 32-35 points, 8-9 rebounds, and 8-9 assists on 61-62% true shooting. Those are numbers that should have a team competing at the highest level. And many blame the front office, not Doncic, for a roster that doesn't hide his flaws the way Dallas did. And that brings us back to Jeannie Buss, because through all of this, through the complaining and the blowouts and the defensive breakdowns and the fan frustration and the media criticism and the announcers going on the air and airing out their grievances, Buss has not wavered. She has not made any public statements directly criticizing Doncic's referee complaints. She has focused on growth, on integration, on the future. She said every move would prioritize Doncic's success. She called him the new face of the franchise. But here's the thing about the Lakers. The franchise does not run on patience. It runs on championships. Buss told the world she is about winning and wanting to add more trophies. That is the expectation. That is the standard. And right now, the way things stand, this team is first round and done. The roster has cap space opening up and at least 3 first-round picks to play with heading into the offseason. The building blocks are there, but the question remains, can Luka Doncic stop being his own worst enemy long enough for this franchise to build something real around him? Because the owner went on record. She said he was the saddest player she has ever seen walk through those doors. She said she is going all in on him. She said the future belongs to him. But she also said this franchise is about winning. And when those two things collide, when the sadness and the complaining and the defense and the blowouts start piling up against the expectation of banners and trophies, something has to give. Buss played the trade like a poker game. She went all in, and right now, the cards on the table don't look great, but the hand is not over yet. The question is whether Luka Doncic will figure it out before the Lakers are forced to fold. And if you think Jeanie Buss is going to sit there and watch this franchise burn because of one man's feelings, you do not know the Buss family, you do not know the Lakers.